T-Boys TV. We are back again with another T-Boy Discusses. I'll be honest, I was going to do just a match reaction, but obviously a bit of news has come out. Expected news, and that is obviously regarding Asgard, but obviously I will get into that. So different sections I'm going to talk about today. Obviously we did play a friendly against Boreham Wood. I did attend it. I was going to do a reaction there, but with the way you get into their stadium and things, it was a bit hard to get an angle of the stadium. I didn't really want to do it in there and just have everyone looking at me and just thinking, what the fuck is he doing? So just didn't do it there. But the actual game itself, obviously pre-season, you rotate, you experiment. Obviously we did two teams a half. One thing I was surprised about is we kept showing goal. Obviously Walton was there. I thought we were going to do half and half of them, but we didn't. But from the first half, the first team, it seemed like it was Woodrow up front, Ali sort of out wide. I thought when I first saw that lineup, it was sort of like a 4-4-2. But yeah, Ali had a few chances, looked very good. Even in the shots leading up to the game, he was having some great shots. Obviously, we had Luca in the team. Clark, I would say the first team was more of like an attacking sort of team, especially in the midfield. You had Baptiste, you had Clark. Whereas the other game, you had Saville. Obviously, it was good to see him. He was good in the game. You had more structure, overall. And whereas the other game, it seemed like it was just Nordas up front. But yeah, 1-0. Obviously, in the first half, Woodrow with the goal. Good finish. To be fair, even again, similar to Ali, he was scoring very good goals in the warm-up, and they've obviously said, Lockyer and Edwards, they did say he was the best finisher at the club, and based on them finishes, did look very good. His finish, nice little one tucked into the bottom right corner. And then the second half team, I think the second half team was a lot better. I'll be honest. I just thought they were on the front foot more. They had more chances. I mean, Boreham Wood didn't really cause much, but again, you sort of expect us to win that game anyway. Like, let's just be real with it. But I'll tell you a player that was very unlucky today, Nelson. He had a few chances. I think he had like two chances. Good, unlucky. I remember a game pre-season. I think we lost 3-2 in Slovenia and he scored two goals. So it'll be interesting to see what he's like in this pre-season. But yeah, I guess a talking point is, well, two actually, especially from the second half team. Lamine, first of all, Lamine's sort of role. Now, obviously, when he come in, and we all know he's actually a CDM, but we seem to sort of be playing him as a cam. We had that under Edwards for his debut against QPR away on that Monday night. We've had it with Bloomfield as well. He's sort of been higher up, and that seems like that is going to be his role going forward, guys, because you look at the game today, and again, the opposition's not great, like, let's be honest, but two very well taken goals. There was, I think it was the first one, I was thinking he's took too many touches, but he still managed to get a shot away. And it seemed like he was, like I say, behind Nordas, sometimes higher up, but it seems like we're going to use him as a cam. I mean, that's quite interesting. Obviously, giving in the player we did sign today as well from Exeter, who did play in the first half. Still got a lot to learn. Do you know what I mean? New team as well, new surroundings, so I'm not going to be too harsh on him. But for a 17-year-old, playing, I believe it's 13 games in League One last year, getting a goal as well, getting an assist in one the game he got a goal, setting up Ali as well, ironically. It'll be interesting to see if he's going to be implemented in the team. I hope he is, because I don't want us doing, like, for example, I know it's a different position, but what we've done with Pebble, where we brung him in and then we just never used them. I think Pebble in the end went out on loan 4 times before obviously he officially went yesterday to Plymouth. But yeah, be interesting to see what we do with Lamine. But yeah, another talking point, especially from that second half, is Nordas. Now, he had 4 chances, guys, and yes, it's good he's getting the chances, but you got to take them. And right now, we still need a striker. We definitely still need a striker to replace Morris. The vibe so far with Nordas, I'll be honest, because today was our best, longest time we've seen him, essentially. He reminds me of Elijah from last season, where he's getting the chances, but he's not taking them. And again, it's still early days. We could go into our next load of games and he could score some goals. And I hope he does, because that's what I think he needs. But we still need that Morris replacement. And for me, we need that replacement who's going to guarantee to start and be the starting striker, and have Nordas, have Woodrow. Because it looks like Woodrow now probably will be a second string striker or third string, whatever you want to call it, on the bench, coming on essentially is what I'm trying to say. But we definitely still need a striker. And hopefully we do definitely address that, because there was a rumour coming out that we linked with a Huddersfield striker, Dion Charles. Obviously he had no goals, I think, in like 18 games, but apparently they weren't really playing to his style. So maybe he needs to move and see what he can do. I know he's very good at Bolton. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, let me know. Would you guys take him? Do let me know when it comes to that. And also the fact of, you look at Elijah, obviously he's got long-term injury. Brown, we don't know when he's exactly going to be back. So we definitely need to address that position. I was thinking maybe we need to get two strikers, but I think maybe just one now. Just the Morris replacement. Do you know what I mean? Someone with a bit of experience that can do it at this level, and hopefully can do it at a level obviously above in the Championship as well. Obviously with our aims and expectations. But yeah, and then players, I'm going to talk about the players that weren't there. Obviously Doughty, he's going to leave. It's just a matter of when and where. Burke wasn't there. Obviously, he has been rumoured to go to Charlton. So maybe that is going to happen. A lot of people saying, oh, he's probably injured, like he is quite a lot. But I don't know. I think he's going to move, to be fair, because under Bloomfield, he didn't actually get injured, which is a surprise. So, yeah, and another player, which was quite interesting, I thought I would see, but I didn't see, and I mentioned it to my dad, was Chong. No, it didn't see him. Now, obviously, a lot of fans do want him out the door because his contribution, to, since he's been at Luton, ain't been great. His best spell was obviously in the Premier League, Liverpool game, around about that time. But yeah, overall, for a player who's played in the Champions League, he's not been good enough. Let's just be real with it. So, yeah, I mean, is he maybe on the way out? Who knows? Obviously, Mengi was there. And to be fair, he weren't too bad. He was in the first half team. He weren't too bad, to be fair. I mean, a lot of people are saying now after this game that they reckon he could stay until January and then maybe go then. I mean, I could see that, but I just want these players to show that determination. And again, I know the opposition's not great, but he was quite, up for it today. I did see him shouting quite a lot of things, so that's good to see, because if a player does not want to be at a football club, they'll sort of, you'd be able to tell with the way they were playing and stuff, but he was actually getting stuck in, he was shouting and stuff, and things like that. And then another thing quickly, when it comes to the game today, the captains, obviously McGuinness got it in the first half, and then obviously Naismith had it in the second half. And another shout out actually that we're talking about defenders, to Anderson. Thought it's really good. Again, opposition not great, but he's just heading everything away. Like, I want to give him a chance. I've said that. Last time he was in League One, he was a captain for Barnsley. Really, really good. They were gutted when he didn't play in their playoff final, because he was injured at the time, I remember. So let's give him a chance. Holmes looked like he's going to go as well. He's another player I didn't see. It's is what it is, isn't it? I'd rather keep Anderson, if I'm being totally honest. But yeah, let me know. Do you guys want to keep Madsteel Anderson going forward? And then the other thing I will touch on, like I've mentioned, is Aasgaard. Now, he has officially gone to Rangers now on a 4-year deal. Apparently there was a relegation release clause, so we sort of knew the risk anyway of putting that in, and we don't really do that. I mean, Bloomfield obviously said that we don't really do that. But it is what it is, guys. Do you know what I mean? Norway managers changed it. Like, even Bloomfield sort of threw digs at him. He's, changed Asgard's mentality to thinking that he needs to go. And again, I'm not going to have a go at Asgard. At the end of the day, it's the World Cup. It's a massive stake. But at the same time, he said the same thing with Aya, who plays for Brentford, who are in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is a little bit frustrating, because I can see on the other side fans' frustrations. Like, I had a comment the other day, shout out to Darth Vader, and he was basically saying, like, he's just sort of used us as a stepping stone. And I hear what he's saying, because at the end of the day, 6 months, he knew the high possibilities of getting relegated, and he just, he's gone now, and it is a bit frustrating. But this player we did bring in from Exeter seems to be like an Asgard replacement. Obviously not on that level yet, but he's a central midfielder, but he's more of a cam. He can play defensive midfield as well. And I believe he could play left midfield. I think that's the other place he could play as well. But we'll see. I just want to see him, be given a go in the first team. Obviously not starting, but yeah, just on the bench and that. Because otherwise, there's no point gassing up when we sign young players, because it's just pointless, isn't it? Really, because we know how the story goes in recent years with a lot of them. But yeah, that is that when it comes to that. So do let me know your thoughts on everything I've discussed, the Boreham Wood game, the players in the game, the players that look like they're on their way out. Let me know your thoughts on the new signing. And also, like I say, let me know your thoughts on Asgard officially leaving and things like that. So yeah, don't forget to smash a like, subscribe, follow me across all my socials, subscribe to the extra channel. Till next time, take care, peace.